why don't you guys just introduce yourselves and your company, and we'll just jump right into it, because this is all good.
Hi everyone, I'm Richard Pistilli, founder and CEO of Gambit Rewards. We are the creators of the loyalty gaming experience for rewards programs.
Hi everybody, I am Don Reilley. I am the EVP of Publisher Development for a company called Scuti. Simply put, we are rewarded G-commerce for gamers, allowing gamers to shop for physical goods through the lobby of a game and be rewarded for doing that, taking those rewards, fueling their gaming experience.
It's awesome.
There you go. So there we go. I've already clicked through. We've got our profile pages up. So for posterity, there we are.
I love it.
Happy to jump right in, David.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah? Right.
Excellent.
And everybody in the back, keep visiting, but we'd love for you to join us in the audience as well. Okay? Yeah. Thanks.
So our company, Gambit Rewards, by way of background, I had spent about 20 years in investment banking in the marketing, services, and reward space. And this is back in the early 2000s when this was nothing more than a black box and nobody understood how any of this stuff worked. Consumers didn't understand it. The accountants, the auditors didn't understand it. But I spent my time there cutting my teeth. As I moved into later part of my career and started building companies, one area I looked at was in the reward space. It was just phenomenal to me that the programs had proliferated to the point that they are everywhere. They are ubiquitous now. You can't go to the local bowling alley without getting a card. You can't go to the local bodega or corner store without getting a card. So that value proposition has absolutely exploded. However, the challenge that I've always seen is that it's in the experience, right? Because the challenge is that consumers are inundated with points. And the issue they find is that most programs, their experiences, their prizes, their rewards are commoditized. They're offering a lot of the same stuff. And all due respect, there's only so many Amazon gift cards you can offer somebody, right? That's not driving loyalty. That's not personalization. That's not engaging. That's not actually doing something that's going to keep that customer sticky. And so we looked at it and said, well, what else can you do with these points? And I have a chart up here that basically is nothing new to anyone in this room. It just talks about the fact that loyalty points have now ballooned into a massive liability on public balance sheets. It creates an issue where on one hand you want to drive engagement, but you need to actually move these points as well. And you're not going to do that by simply cutting price and basically dumping them off your sheets. I'll just skip over some of this stuff. And I want to jump into Don and Scuti. So we created a program, just to give you the preface, where we actually are the only ones that are able to take any loyalty program and provide them with a experience that is pure gamification, right? We're actually able to go to the users and say, hey, you've got points for being a good customer, a good employee, whatever it may be. And what you can now do with them is you can use those to play games. You can bet on our sports book. You can bet on our slot game. Whatever it is you guys want to put in your program, we deliver it. And that value proposition opens up to the user saying, look, you can play all the sports you like. I mean, chances are you know the sports calendar. No matter who you are, you're somehow a casual sports fan. And if you win, we'll customize whatever you'd like to win based on our partners. We'll give them cash rewards, gift cards, or even more points in their programs. And the users look at that and say, wait a minute, so I get to have the fun, the experience of real sports betting, and if I win, I get real value, and if I lose, it simply costs me my loyalty points, which were free in the first place. Right. That's the value prop, and that's the really wide recognition. We started working with Don and his colleagues at Scuti a little over a year ago. Scuti's a phenomenal company. They are pioneering in the mega trend in online gaming and Gen Z, right? Where whether it's Fortnite or any of these other titles, you have a massive audience of Gen Z engaged users. But as we all know, incenting those users and rewarding them, very difficult to do. These are not a loyal demographic that's looking for the same old, discounts and cashbacks and whatnot. That is not going to drive that audience. So we started working with Don and his team, and we said, wait a minute, you guys have something interesting here. You've got a great audience. They're already gamified. They're engaged. We've got something that can work for your audience that nobody else is offering, and we think it's going to really be a differentiator for you. Mm-hmm. So before I go more into how loyalty gaming works, just want Don to really share with the audience a bit more about Scuti and how that program works.
Yeah, so Scuti was started about 3 years ago. And the interesting thing about Scuti is that everyone who's a part of the company has been in the gaming space for a minimum of 20 years. I've been in the gaming space for 22 plus years. I've had the fortune of working at places like Electronic Arts, Microsoft Game Studios, on the Xbox Live advertising business. And gaming has grown, but has really stayed the same, right? It is, you churn out games, you hope people come and play those games. If it's a top tier title, maybe you've sold that in a retail store and now you've sold it through download. But what has never changed is the way we reward gamers and the way we think about what the gamer really means to us and what they're doing. And this company was started because our founder's son was playing a game, had earned all of these points, all of these rewards, and in his head had finished the game and looked around and said, what a waste. I got all these points. I've got all of this in-game currency that's now gone. I can't use it, all right? I'm done with the game, right? And so Scuti was developed as a way to, one, reward gamers, but more importantly, to help game makers to better monetize their game, better acquire users, and better retain those users. We have the acronym ARM. I said it a little backwards, but it's really acquisition, retention, and monetization. And the idea is when you guys play mobile games, and everyone's a mobile gamer, right? You're inundated with awful advertising experiences that interrupt your gameplay. It's no good. It takes you out of the gaming experience. It forces you to find your way back into the gaming experience. So what we've decided to do is create a very lightweight SDK that allows a gamer to click a button in the lobby of their game and shop for physical goods. So we are the Amazon of the games world. I mention Amazon for two reasons. One is because they're actually testing this out with a publisher right now, and they've approached us to back end our store. But what's more important is what we do doesn't interrupt gameplay. It allows gamers to do what they're going to do no matter what, which is shop for goods. You're going to shop for hoodies. You're going to shop for t-shirts. You're going to shop for sneakers. You're going to shop for electronics, gaming chairs. You name it, you're going to shop for it. But what we are doing is through our partnerships with the brands, we are rewarding those gamers. We are rewarding them with what are called Scutis, allowing the gamer to take those Scutis and immediately put it back into their gaming experience. But not just in the game that they earn those Scutis from, but in any game that's part of the Scuti network, right? So it's not taking your reward and holding it tight, which is what game makers do right now. They offer rewards, watch a commercial, you get some coins. You want to get to the next level, spend some of your coins. What we're saying is earn rewards for what you're going to do every single day. Take those rewards, turn them into those coins. If you have extra rewards, now take them to your next game. Take those rewards with you, and it allows you to fuel your entire gaming experience as opposed to just one game. We believe it is revolutionary in the gaming space, and what we're doing with Gambit is revolutionary because what we're able to do is allow your users to exchange our Scutis for your rewards and vice versa. So we've created a little ecosystem within our partnership that allows all of our users to go back and forth with your rewards and my rewards and fuel their entire experience through Gambit and through the Scuti experience, which frankly nobody else is doing right now. Nobody's doing anything like this, especially in the gaming space.
So a question for you. You think about research that's out there, and one of the key pieces of research that you hear from consumers is customer choice. They want to pick and do what they want to do.
Yep.
They want to be in control. So what you're enabling really is choice, because as you're saying, in the traditional model, they're stuck in that one game.
Correct.
They earn all of these coins. They're done and tired playing the game. They've already reached the penultimate level.
Yep.
And now what do they do next?
Correct.
Because they've figured out all the cheats associated with playing that game.
Yep.
They're the most brilliant, what is it, Tour of Duty? Is that
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty,
Yep.
Thank you very much. Call of Duty, and they've maxed out, right?
Maxed out completely.
Right. So question for you, how did you guys meet? And then when you were thinking about listening to Richard's Gambit story, what resonated to tell you, what motivated you to have this sort of symbiotic sharing construct?
Well, I just met Richard in the back.
Yeah.
No.
I've Don and his team. I actually, if you mind me interjecting, CEO of their company is Nick Longano, and I met Nick about 18 months ago.
Yeah.
And we were introduced by a mutual friend, and we had a conversation that we just saw a lot of mutual alignment, where he was talking about the friction points and the challenges in the gaming world. And I said, well, wait a minute, we're doing a lot of the same kind of stuff here, and it's designed all towards the same end goal, which is for any customer experience, you want to be differentiated, you want to be customized, and frankly, you want to be gamified, right? You want something that's sticky and keeps them coming in, as you said, for choice. They're choosing how to navigate and what to do and where to go with those rewards. And so we looked at his audience, and I showed them our product, and we just saw a lot of overlap. We said, wait a minute, we've got a great audience, they're already gaming, they're online. We can offer our reward store and our, our gift card, paywall and all that. But this is interesting because you guys are doing something different, which is, and I'll get into how the mechanics work, but separate from that, you guys are on the precipice of what is now a mega trend in the US. And so if I can just jump in on that, a little bit more about really where this is coming from. Our company is about 6 years old. And when we started it, we actually came out to some conferences and met some rewards companies. And the feedback we got was always the same. It was, this is interesting. It's gamification experience. We love this. It sounds cool, but it's sports, betting, games. We don't.
They were
want to touch
afraid.
it. Well, it's taboo. It's off market. It's black. Sure, we don't want to touch it. We were doing this at the same time as the Supreme Court was changing the rulings and sort of bringing it mainstream. The chart on this, the slide on the screen there. The reason that's there is to just show you it's amazing how quickly that market has evolved in 5 years, 5 short years. It went from, okay, now we're legalizing in a few states. And everyone said, well, okay, well, that's just going to be a couple of those hardcore.
Jersey.
Jersey, there you go. Hardcore gamblers. And then, of course, all the gambling companies got involved, the majors, the real ones, FanDuel and DraftKings and the rest. Then the media companies got involved, AT&T and Fox, and everybody started, realizing, wait a minute, this is a great way to reach fan base, to reach audience, to connect with users. But the most interesting thing is, this only happened in the last 12 months, is all the household family brands got involved. Disney is out in a major way, publicly stating we are investing heavy in the online sports betting world. And that's the sea change, because now we've gone from that's a black market taboo offshore kind of thing to, no, this is part of the fan experience, right? It's not possible to watch a sporting event on Fox or NBC or CBS without having some form of the betting component. And so for us, as I said, the timing is right? The environment is now embracing this opportunity. It's a large marketplace, and we looked at it as saying, well, we'll jump on that, but we don't do it the way anybody else does, because we don't deal with real money. We don't deal with real, payouts and all that sort of stuff. We work with loyalty companies, right? And so, as I mentioned before, the difference is we're able to work with any loyalty company and say, look, we've got a sticky value prop for you, where your users, at their discretion, will decide, hey, yeah, I've got a pile of points. Maybe I don't like the NFL. Maybe I don't like NCAA. Ooh, I like F1. I'm going to play some F1, and you have a calendar that never stops, where you can engage them.
It's daily.
And going. It's always daily.
So question though, you said it's not real cash, but I can convert what I win. So, and you also said you had 3 different, you offer variety as it relates to the gaming experience.
Correct.
So I could bet on sports, if that's the only thing I want to do. I could bet on casino gaming. I could play blackjack. I could play poker. I could play roulette.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then the third opportunity is what?
We've actually, in terms of the third opportunity, we've dabbled in all sorts of entertaining contests. We've done who's going to win the election.
Okay.
Right. We've done, pick the best actor in the Oscars. Any sort of prop game we want to throw up.
Okay, so you're doing props as well.
And it's just entertainment.
Okay.
Right. Whatever.
So when I convert my hotel points with someone that's got, like Julie, my wife, okay, she's got 4,000 miles with Delta Airlines. She's not flying Delta anytime soon. Those points are about to expire. theoretically, or not theoretically, they could come to you and work out a contract
Yep.
and say any of, and I would do the permission-based marketing, so Delta would send out the email and say, we have a new venue for you.
Yep.
Have fun, Julie. She could play,
She could
she
change
could-
them into Scutis.
she could change them into Scutis.
And there is a value for those, and the value is for every 1,000 Scutis equals $1.
And
Wow.
And that's what's different about what this system does, which
Right.
is we're not a traditional vendor, right? So if Delta, or as in your example, has to have vendors for rewards and experiences, they're buying products from vendors, and that's the end of the road, and the user's gone. They either have to reacquire the user or remind them, hey, remember that great product you got? It came from us, right? That's sort of the friction. What we do is whether, let's say they start with Scuti.
Yep.
A user starts at Scuti. They're playing the Scuti games, they win Scuti points. They say, great, I want to bet on the Denver Nuggets last night. Okay, great. You can do that right through Scuti because Gambit's integrated. And they come and they play Gambit. What's different is that we create 2 loops into those systems that nobody else is doing. The first is when the user starts playing our games, let's say they lose, they run out of points. First thing they do is they click on Get More. We don't sell them anything. All Get More does is take them back to Scuti and say, look, you want to keep playing, you better go get more points. You better go do whatever they're telling you they want you to do in order to keep playing with us. So that drives two-way engagement. On the other end, when you asked about the different alternatives we offer for rewards. We do our business in 2 types of deployments. One is a sort of more white labeled captive. The rewards program controls it, and they manage everything on it. Obviously, we run it, but they tend to decide what's on it. We do that with guys like Dave and Buster's. But in our mainstream, which is where Scuti's connecting, so now we have users come in. They run out of points. They say, get more. We show them all our rewards partners. We go, do you guys know Scuti? You don't know Scuti? We'll give you 1,000 tokens if you sign up with Scuti and check it out.
So you immediately vest them.
User acquisition, we send them right over. You go, check out Scuti. You guys don't know them? Go check them out. And on the back end, let's say the other end of the funnel works out where they win a game or 1 or 2, whatever it is they want. They're done playing. They say, okay, I'm done. I want to cash out. They go to our reward store where we have cash, because we're the only authorized free-to-play that's allowed to do this. Single play, take whatever cash you like.
How do I collect the cash?
We do PayPal or ACH bank transfers.
Oh, no kidding.
Absolutely, we're approved, and we work with the Pentagon's Federal Credit Union. We
So
work
the
with
way,
ACH.
so the way that you make it work in the U.S., let's say, is that I cannot go into a checkout and fund my Gambit profile.
No.
So that's
No
that's,
direct consumer.
There's no direct consumer funding
Correct.
to create a purse.
Correct.
Okay.
But following up on that example, so now let's say they go into the reward store, and you have all the options. One of the options, the most popular one we have is, well, rather than cash, how about you take more points? We'll buy you points. And so that's the other way we drive them back.
So there's your sampling and your bounce back as well.
We found that in all of our users, regardless of whether we're working with consumer shopping sites, gaming sites, credit cards, doesn't matter, 95% of our users don't take cash, they take more points.
Right. They want to keep playing.
We went to them, we said, what? I don't understand. You're playing with loyalty points, we're offering you cash.
'Cause they're
you don't want
entertained.
it. They all told us the same thing. They said, we see you as an enhancement to the loyalty program. We're just playing your games, and our goal is to basically increase our balances with the program.
Right.
So they all go back to the programs.
Yeah.
So now you have this two-way loop where we are an earn and burn, right? You're differentiated, you're actually giving them an experience. The users are engaging, right? And they're coming back, right? And they're not just coming back and putting their points on the balance sheet again. Now they're re-engaged.
I want Julie to use her 4,000 Delta and pull the slot and get 400,000. That's what I want.
We've done it. and that's exactly where you drive them, right? So now the users are going to these programs going, I love it. It's a different experience. I don't see this anywhere else. It doesn't
Right.
cost me anything.
Right.
And I'm a numbers guy. Like ideas are great. Put numbers to paper. We've been doing this now for live for about 2.5 years.
Yeah.
When we first started going into programs, our first major program was a cashback shopping site. And they said, this is interesting. Nobody's doing this. I said, we'll give you a chance. If you can show us that 10% of the users cycle back, that could be meaningful to us.
Right.
We deliver close to 60% cycles. 60% of users engage and go back and return.
David, one quick
Yeah,
sec.
just on that, I know we're at time, but this is really, really interesting. So I just wanted to say, I think we've got time for one question. does anybody have a question they wanted to, well, we've got the guys up here.
Are you understanding the concept? That's the thing. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, whose
all
eyes are
these
glazed over?
questions.
Does anybody,
So it's like the
They're
root
awake.
of how they got together, the fact that they're trying to optimize engagement. They're addressing that young consumer that really isn't getting a $10 reward. They want to be entertained. Your problem was maxing out on a particular game, and then
Yep.
they had this balance and they couldn't do anything
Couldn't
with
do
it.
anything with it.
Now you have the option. You're offering this flexibility, but then you have a quid pro quo where you're bouncing back and forth, which is great.
And into the next game.
So I do have one question.
Go
for you.
ahead.
So are you the originator in creating the games, or are you licensing games
No.
that are commonly found?
We are working with publishers to put our lightweight SDK in the lobbies of their games. So they are actually they are allowing
you're
us
the
to tap
portal of
into
their
their
game.
audience.
Okay.
And in return, what we're doing is, from a monetization perspective, right? Every time we sell a product, we take a cut of that sale. The brand is what is actually who provides the dollar value and the points to the gamer. So I just wanted to be clear. You can't come into Scuti, plop down $100 and get points in return. You've got to buy a product and you are rewarded with up to 5% back. So you buy a $100 pair of Nikes, you get $5 in Scutis. Those cannot be cashed out. They cannot be cashed out for cash. They can be exchanged for Gambit rewards. They can be exchanged for other currency in other games, and they can be used to discount other products within the Scuti marketplace. So when I say every 1,000 is worth $1, that's real, but the brand stays whole, the publisher stays whole, and the user themselves is absolutely the reward of this, because their gaming experience is fueled by the brands that they've purchased products from, right? The brand gets a new revenue stream through a new sales channel. The publishers get a new revenue stream because they're getting a cut of the sale of the product, and they're getting the value of the rewards, which is funded by the brand. And the gamer gets the product they wanted, gets it drop shipped to their house. They have these additional rewards that they can go use in Gambit, that they can go use in their gaming experience. It's truly revolutionizing the way publishers and the way partners can engage gamers, engage users, and give them a reason to continue their experience and actually fuel that experience through advertising dollars.
fantastic. Thank you so much. And that last question was great.
Yeah.
Guys, have it around for these guys.